Mic is live and we are live on Facebook, I mean on YouTube, so just
Spray paint.
remember the microphone is very sensitive. Do you have trouble getting in? Can you refresh? Because all those were changed today.
That's what it just opened.
Did you refresh though? When you-
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to refresh.
I had shut down.
Well, that's weird. I just changed all those
Okay.
today, so I will go back in and look to
Just
see.
elementary.
Oh, I literally did all these today.
Hopefully it just needs to like go live.
It's supposed to be already. Thank you. That's disappointing.
That for the district page?
Yeah, trying to get those updates made. If you find anything on there though that needs changing, just make a.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, not good morning.
I was almost gonna say good morning.
You look me up.
And it was we could take the broken shit out of those trains and I sat down for you and spelling this.
Oh, where is it?
Amy Hanson, everyone. She doesn't have her name tag, so Amy Hanson.
And we're not waiting for anyone else, right?
Do you want me to move?
Okay,
It's not here for it.
Corey was,
We can't make it.
yep, he sent a text out. Everyone, so it's 4:30. I'm looking to call the meeting to order
I'll make that motion.
Second.
to approve the
Oh,
agenda.
approve the agenda, yeah. I was trying to app. Look what happened.
All right, all those in favor of approving the agenda,
I
unopposed. Okay.
Then it was two.
did.
Holly
I
and
just woke up
Kimberly.
on my app.
Thank you.
All right, so new business. Resolution authorizing the district to exceed the revenue limit for 4 years for non-recurring purposes. Is this where we want to read this out? Right now, or do we need?
Resolution.
talk about it first?
Dollar amount,
Okay,
or once decided.
yep. So which piece are we starting with talking about?
A, new business A,
Yep,
and then new business B.
right.
So we put together, after you had asked, we went
Mhm.
back to Baird and put together several scenarios, and due to the reduction in the FTEs, you could see there were some differences in the deficit column.
Mhm.
And so Amy was very instrumental in doing this, but we thought we'd put in one more at the end there on the second. There's a $1 million piece
Yep.
in there to show, I think that was a little better.
We wanted to give you some more options.
Yeah.
So when we talked to Barrett, actually, he was on his way to a golfing thing, whatever, like Geneva, I'm jealous. But we were asking him about the FTE and he really was hesitant. He was like saying that's not recommended because the only way your FTE is gonna go down is you would have a mass excesses of students, but so instead of doing 10%.
By moving out of the
Moving
district,
out of,
Moving out.
leaving school,
Not
moving
leaving.
from the district,
not open or rolling out.
Because-
moving,
Moving.
actual move, bodies leaving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But anyway, so instead of doing 10%, we decided to do 3%.
Okay,
I don't understand. I'm confused. The only way we would have a mass exodus is if people moved out of the district. What does
Yeah.
that, why?
Because resident counts and the FTE resident students is factored into that, and that's what she put that formula in there
so
yesterday.
even, so
Right,
there's
but we
a,
only get 2,000 instead of 13,000 or whatever. Is that what he's talking about? Is we still get money if they're,
Yes.
Yeah.
but it's so little compared to. It still makes a big difference.
Well, apparently in the formula, it doesn't, and that's why he was hesitant to move it down 10%.
Okay.
And we just followed his recommendation. I mean, he didn't want us to move any at all, did he, Amy?
No, he didn't want you, he goes, because the only way he goes that would change is if they actually physically moved. Or his other word was, they died.
yeah,
Because they're still in the, they're still
They're
in the,
still
they're
counted.
still in the formula as
District president.
a district resident. And, yeah, so We did lose
The money, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm
But
sorry.
I mean, I guess I can see it's still a variable in the whole, in the formula.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we did what he I mean, we went as slow as, he said this is worst case scenario,
yep,
right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of what he labeled to us, and so. We put together the 4 options based on that.
And then we also built in some buffers for, maybe next year, that individuals that, did not choose health insurance this year. That they could
Yeah, that's-
switch next year or, the year after, so
Mhm.
we built some buffers in there to accommodate for those increased costs in the future.
I think one of the other things he wanted to mention was, let's say whatever we choose and we're in a better condition than what we thought, we don't have to levy to the max, we don't have to levy to that, let's say we chose $1 million. And we're doing better than we thought, we don't have to levy to that full $1 million.
sure, we could choose,
We can under
We can
levy.
under levy.
we
yeah.
could under levy, okay, that's a good piece to note as
And we
well.
couldn't do the 5-year because that would take some more work and it would take time, and it was, obviously, had the day off, so he said maybe if you want that information, he could give it to you at the next board meeting, but that's not gonna help you for your decision tonight.
Right,
Well,
My-
I'm
my
not saying
reading
the
is
next one, but
correct.
maybe in September.
So you're looking at scenario, the base, the scenario 1 and the scenario 2.
So there you have, so you have base, you have the base, and you got scenario 1, 2, and 3.
So if I'm looking at this correctly, the 4-year 650, that does not get us into the positive if you're looking into 2031, correct?
No, because we.
Where we were
changed the
talking
FTE.
about-
Yep,
Right.
change the FTE.
So, yeah, but.
We changed the FTEs, the one that gets you to being on the positive side is the million. But your 750, I mean, you don't have the 750.
7.
Even the 850, you're close, being, net zero those following years, but it also will depend though, you could get some more revenue, you could get some more expenditure, so.
Mhm.
I know we were just discussing how to get out of, to be more sustainable on our own
Mhm.
versus survival mode. So I was just looking at the numbers.
I don't know if you guys have any more questions or.
I mean, based on the FTE calculations that we changed, it looks like, I mean, the $1 million was the most reasonable one, which last night, I think with the FTEs went hit. I mean, you guys were thinking 750.
Yeah, but that gives us the wiggle room knowing that we put worst case scenario number count in there for students. That there's a good chance it's higher. You know,
That's
that's
what
what
he was saying.
it's forecasted to be higher.
Yes.
So even though the million looks the best here, I feel a little bit more comfortable coming back down from that because we know we've put in the worst
I do
case
too.
scenario numbers.
So are you leaning more to the 850?
Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards the 750.
Same.
I mean, that gets us there with a fund balance at the end.
And like I said, we built.
We'll continue to drop loans off.
Yeah, and we built, like I said, we built some buffers for those individuals, that
Right.
are on cash in lieu right now.
Yep.
That they make that switch to family next year or
Yeah.
the year after, so that could be your saving grace. And or the revenue that we get, additional revenue for categorical aid.
Well, and the ability to also communicate that this is what we're asking for now, but that we'll revisit it every year. And this would be the maximum amount
Correct.
that we're asking to levy. And we can keep it more conservative than that if the budget so allows with the numbers for the current year, updates from the state, any of those pieces, we could under levy. That could be some of the communication that goes out.
I definitely feel better with the 4 years, knowing that a loan
Yeah.
falls off.
Yes.
Then,
Yeah.
I definitely feel better about the 4-year than the 3-year.
And that also feels like a great communication piece that we're buying this time through this loan repayment period and we see the light at the end of the tunnel
Yes.
past that. Mm-hmm. And that's,
And hopefully being sustainable.
yeah, that's
For
one
yourself.
of several loans. So there are other loans that will continue to drop off as well.
Yes.
Yes,
Mhm. We should probably have a really good, clear timeline of those loans dropping off year-wise, when we are out speaking publicly as well.
Yes, because actually you'll have a significant decrease in those loans in the 30-31.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Because it's 29-30 is, that's that, the one that gets paid off, if it's that million,
Yep,
then they drop significantly.
yep. Yeah, a nice, clear timeline of what we have out there in loans and the years that they will complete.
I mean, if you still look at the fund balance with the deficits, so there's still 13% fund balance in,
Right,
29-30.
yep. Okay. So that is A. So B is the question portion, right? That we're actually providing the resolution. Okay, so does anyone have any other questions around these numbers? Do people feel like you have enough information to make a decision tonight?
yes.
All right, excellent. So then the question that we're asking for a resolution for, and this is what we'd vote on, shall the school district of Siren, Burnett County, Wisconsin be authorized to exceed the revenue limit specified in section 121.9 Wisconsin statute by, and we're saying the 750,000 per year for 4 years, beginning in 2026 through the 27 school year and ending in the 2029-2030 school year for non-recurring purposes consisting of operational expenses, including to maintain educational and elective programming at the Siren School District. So the way that questioning is worded, none of this money can go for capital improvements. It is only for operating the educational portion of the school. So I would look for a motion to accept that resolution.
I would make that motion.
I put the 750.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I was trying to get it in here at the same time.
That's
I'll
okay.
second that.
Okay, so we have a first by Polly, seconded by Mindy. All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed. All right, so that is the question that will go on the ballot for November.
I think the other thing to remember is that not only does that help set us up and look more favorable for consolidation if we do need to go that route, but it also gives us the time to further explore sports, whole grade sharing, and all those other things that we've been talking about.
Yes.
Because if we have an 18-month timeline, we need to see how the next year goes, and then we need to start working on it.
Absolutely. So the other piece of information that was in the packet was on a proposed option from the Donovan Group. Yeah, I heard that part earlier too. So this is a marketing firm that would help us get the word out about the referendum. They're offering consulting, putting together 2 mailers, working on a website, social media information, and a slide deck that we could utilize for informational pieces that we put out. So they've got the cost there of $14,000 for the total of those items. So we wanted to get this information out in front of everyone so that you could see it, and then we could vote on it next week at the full meeting. There are dollars that are budgeted within Fund 80. We have the money set aside for something of this nature. So this wouldn't be an
We're in
addition.
that shoes here because we were just anticipating potential survey or something like that, and she just put some money aside.
Did you know how much she put in that fund?
Just looking to see what, obviously there's fund balance.
Yep.
In Fund 80.
And so you guys know, that's a community service fund that we use, like we pay our Q out of that, and
Yep.
stuff like that.
Aren't there agencies that, I mean, we belong to the Wisconsin Association of School Boards. You guys belong to the district administrators. Don't they do that?
Not at this.
WEAC does
not at
that.
this level. I mean, I could look around and
And
the only
I-
reason I put this out was because Mindy, we had talked about that at the table and you had a group or somebody you thought of. So I just reached out to them, just looking for a cost. I'm not saying we have to do this at all.
Mhm.
That's the only one I knew of. I can certainly ask around and look
Yeah.
for more. This was just. the
No,
one that
I
knew.
don't want you to look for more. I think it's a waste of money. I don't think we should hire a firm to do it. I think. We
As long as
should
you guys
support our
step up and do
The
the
only-
presentations and.
I feel the only thing with not going with a professional thing like this and just relying on like the yes committee idea that.
If
we're
there's a
going with
forum,
is then
if
we're
they're even-
really- I mean, that's our only. I mean, what if that falls apart or that doesn't
Right.
work? We don't have.
I mean,
Well, we don't know
done-
that this will work either.
We
I mean,
don't-
we don't know if we'll have a yes committee. We don't know if this
Yeah.
proposal for $14,000 is gonna get us anything either.
No. And so these guys have, they proposed even a higher rate. They've come down to this being a little bit more of an à la carte item for us, kind of picking and choosing a little bit. And there are pieces in here that I don't know if we would potentially need. Things like creation of a website. I mean, we can put the facts on our own website. I don't know if we'd need or want a separate website. I'm also looking at it at the time that we are going to need people to put together the copy and the presentations and whatnot. And we have less people doing the same amount of positions. So that is going to be quite taxing if we ask the administration to do it. We may need to step up and fill some of those roles, creating those slide decks and putting together the mailers and whatnot if we choose not to use an agency to help us
We've
do
always
those
done
things.
it on.
We have,
But
yep.
the last time was messy because we got criticized for the publication we put together and, you know, over Facebook and it was a fiasco and. You know, we were just doing it because that's what we thought we were supposed to do, so. However, you know, I just put an option out for you. You guys do whatever you want. I mean, we'll continue to do it. I just want the board to be
Mhm.
present.
Well, my perspective is that having a company paid to come in to support this referendum is gonna look worse than anything. What's gonna make a referendum pass is the way the community feels about the school district, whether they feel the school district is moving forward and listening, or whether it's not, whether it's just gonna be status quo and things are just gonna
But
be
how do,
happening. And all this is gonna do is some advertising. But
how do we assure that we're getting the word out to everyone that we possibly can?
how did we all the other ones? We haven't used this before.
We haven't,
No,
but
we haven't.
we've relied on Facebook,
Yeah.
going to town hall meetings, which maybe in the two referendums that I've been through, there might have been 5 citizens that sat at those town hall meetings besides the board themselves. In total, at like the 3 or 4 meetings that I would go to, there might be 5 total public citizens at them. So it doesn't feel like we're getting a lot of face-to-face time in the ways that we have done it in the
I-
past. I don't know if that means that we're not reaching people, because I can't tell what the Facebook reach is.
I
Well,
don't think it does.
I
think
know-
People are already forming opinions, and what we have to do is prove to them that communication is gonna be strengthened, that our students are gonna be supported in their programs that they're in,
Mhm.
that we're gonna work on building programs back. I truly think that it's gonna look worse hiring a firm to come in.
I just know at the last town hall meeting, there was several people that had stated that they would like to see more in the mail. Not everybody has social media, doesn't want to follow all that, you know? I
Right.
just think in our area, what we're looking at as people living here, not everybody has that social media. And here we're wanting to spend over $2,000 on a website and 1,500 in social media, but 2,002 mailings.
Mhm.
Why not try to get more out there for
The,
them to read
Why-
versus social media?
Tables, displays at Fall Festival or at any of the
Mhm.
things that happen in town that,
well, we just need to be able to know that we as a board are willing to sit and do those things. And we can't tell anyone to vote yes, not that this agency would
I
do
think we
either.
need to use our
It's-
community members, our staff, our students. I mean, it's not about
Mhm,
just the board doing it. It's about the community supporting it.
mhm.
I mean, when I first was on the board, I said, fine, we go to the referendum, it fails the first time, I won't vote, go to a referendum again. I have since changed my mind on that because I believe that it isn't up to us.
Mhm.
I believe it is up to this community to make these decisions. And I'm hearing a lot of people that want us to stay and that want to see change. And
Well,
that they're not gonna support it just because we hire somebody for $14,000 or $8,000 or whatever. They're gonna see it as a waste of money. Why are we wasting $14,000 on
Well,
a firm to
we,
support a referendum?
we don't have.
That's my opinion.
Yep, we don't have a marketing arm in our school. There are school districts out there that do have a full HR department and marketing, and they
Yeah.
hire some.
Not around here.
Not around here. I am not a marketing expert. You know, that's not my expertise. It's not what I've gone to school for. I would love to have some professional help in getting the proper wording. I'm more than happy to be a face and be out there and present the information, but getting help in what we should be saying, how we should be saying it, would be helpful. I mean, there is the option of just doing the consulting, which would be weekly calls with this firm just to help put together a plan. We have 80 days until the vote would take place in November. So there are only 80 days to put this together. If we had a community group already ready to go and take the information and fly with it, that might be different, but we're going to have to pull those people together and help create then the information to be spread out. And that 80 days is going to get, I feel, shorter and shorter as I know we're already busy going into the back to school time and, filling our calendars with all kinds of stuff. So,
It sounds, the difference between what you're saying and what I'm saying, to me, from my perspective, is that you kind of want to control the information that goes out. I don't. I want the community to step up and embrace or say, no, this isn't what we want. I want the community. I don't want to feed information that they don't want, don't need, or feel like is being stuffed down their
I don't
throat.
think that's what she's getting at. I think it's just to make sure that we're portraying the right information, the
Yeah.
right numbers, the right, like.
I mean, if we just sent a mailer out with this question on it, there's going to be a lot more information that people are going to want. So it's how do we parse out the information that is what people are going to want to hear and what they want to get? How are we going to know
That's what we need from them.
but how are,
We
so,
need to know, what do you need to know to support this? Or will you not support this? What
Mhm.
can we tell you?
Mhm.
This many positions have been reduced by
Mhm.
either attrition or decisions. That information we can have, but we're paying a lot of money to associations already. Where are they as far as helping us?
so this group was recommended through the superintendent's
Yeah, I mean, they just.
organization.
And I'm just putting this out to the board. I'm not recommending
Yeah.
anything. We've never had a firm or anything like that, but we talked about it. It was an idea.
Mhm.
You guys decide as a board how you wanna go.
Mhm.
I'll reach out to organizations. I don't think they do it without a fee of some kind. I mean, I will look into it. I mean, I don't know if you-
Is the staff interested in this referendum, in being a part of it? Are they,
Well, they're so new. I mean,
Yeah, it might be a hard ask, but it's worth an ask. I mean, it's absolutely worth an ask to say, or to give them the opportunity. Again, I don't
can we
know.
have something at homecoming
With-
that the football parents support?
I bet we could have
A
all,
flyer,
I bet we can have all of those things where if we handed the paper to the group and said, here's what we're asking you to hand out, here's the commonly asked questions and the answers to those. And this group would help create that content that we can then spread the information out. And it's not to say that as we're talking with people, if more questions come up that aren't part of what we've already created, that we can't find those and add to it and continue with that. But I don't know if any of us are ready to sit down in a week's time period and spend hours upon hours making copy and pulling the information and crafting it in a way that's presentable for everyone.
That's what we've done.
Right, that's what you guys have,
We're planning on doing
absolutely.
it again. It sounds like that's where you wanna go.
That's what you've done in the past, and I want to be mindful of the work that's also being done already extra from the past, that we have the time that we need to put into this to make it presentable to the public. So there isn't a decision that needs to be made on this. This was to have a discussion about it, think it over, look at the proposal that they've put together, and we can make a decision on Monday. That gives us more time to think it over. If anyone has any other pieces that you need answered, we can most certainly try to find those over the course of the next week. Did we find how much was set aside in Fund 80?
So right now, there's 60-some thousand, there's 62,000 in fund balance. I mean, as far as what she set aside, I don't know, because I don't have her budget
Okay.
documents from last year, but.
So there's 60 in Fund 80,
Yep.
and I know that there's Q money that will come out of that, of 15,000.
Tom would like, I don't know
Oh,
if
yep.
you're accepting comments or anything.
As a senior citizen here, I don't do any social media. None.
Right.
Simple. Highly educated.
We totally get that, and that's why we want to make mailers.
Rely on social media
No.
to present the facts as to what is going on. That does not work.
We have no
I have
plans.
social media from some of the people that are on the board that my daughters have showed me, and I said, you have got to be kidding me.
So
That is not, that is false. You almost have to have a mailing that comes out that puts the facts down in black and white.
So in
Social media.
the
not
time,
Fox News.
correct, in the time period we're looking at, because of that 80 days until the election, we don't have much time, and that's why we're looking to do 2 mailers. We thought that that was a spaced out enough time period to get 2 mailers of information out. Plus, we will do all the town meetings. So we will have a board member and staff member present at every town that is part of our district. We will go to their board meeting. We'll do at least 1 meeting at the school. Normally, we've done 2 in-person meetings at the school. And then there's other opportunities we could present. I think you've done it at Rotary Club before. We've gone, yep, Rotary Chamber. We've gone to the Lions and have done in person.
Maybe we're
And
getting
then,
the wrong population though.
well, the senior
Because what I've
center.
heard the town meetings, the people are like, we don't,
Yep.
so
So,
lead them there, that they're not
yes.
impressed and wanting us to come to the town meetings from.
So that's where we need to,
Love any board members to come with.
yeah.
No, I know,
that-
I'm saying, I don't think they want anybody there.
But I love the,
I think if we could go to the senior center,
yep, we've done the senior
Senior
center.
center,
yeah,
that's
I think that those are more like over their lunch or something,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
So
like
we can
meeting.
come up with another outline of public spaces. I love the idea of being at the Fall Fest. So that would be a great place to put a table up and have information. We've done not for referendum specifically, but we've done the nonprofit conference that's been up at the event center before. We will make a once over poster board with all the factual information, and those typically go to Mindy's, to the Poorhouse, and to Four Winds, so that, yeah, and then there's one posted in the Commons. So if anyone has other ideas of where to get the information out, absolutely, we will take on that and figure out a way to do it. I don't think we can send a mailer out every week,
No.
in hopes of reaching people, but we try to get out in front of people as much as we possibly can. And if there are any other events that we should be at, let's make sure that we're at them between now and November.
That's what we're
I'd
trying to
rather
do.
see the money spent buying a big ad in the paper that people are gonna see over social media and some mailings than
Mhm.
having a,
Yeah, and we probably have a really split community, because I know that there's other people that would come forward and say, I don't read the paper.
There's a
I
lot
agree.
of still-
but I'm not saying don't put it on social media.
Yes.
I'm
No,
saying
no,
in
no
addition to
different.
social media, it needs to be
Yeah,
in a form, a document, something.
yes.
The newspaper, a flyer, handed out.
Yep.
Excuse me?
We typically have used
We use the
the
Cedar and Sentinel.
The Sentinel
Sentinel.
is right now who we are utilizing, the Sentinel, which is what most of the towns are also using in the community as well. So,
The
Yep.
tribal, they have their own
Oh, the
community voices newsletter.
Put
I
one
don't
out
know
there
if we've
too.
ever used that.
a poster.
The movie theater is a good place to leave information. We don't always have to be standing by the information.
Nope, those,
We need to be
Yeah.
providing information.
yep, those poster boards, that's why we get those poster boards out and maybe there's,
And I put brochures out.
yep.
I mean, this isn't the first time
Right.
we've done this. We've been
Mhm.
hustling. I'm just gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Right.
We've been hustling and hustling, hustling, and we got criticized more than ever last year. And out of the 7 referendums that I've done in my time, those were the best presentations we've ever done.
Mhm.
And I did have a, not last year, I don't think, but I did put a poster at Silly Bird one year. You were very supportive, thank you. And so, and some brochures
Yeah.
we put out with those. So we're open to ideas. We're just doing it because nobody else is doing it. We're just trying to go and
Yeah.
we're happy to
Well,
have
and
a board with us. That's what we want.
I think if we think about communication as a whole in any business that we've ever worked at, it's always the part where people go, we could be better communicators, but it's really hard to figure out how that is because the way that I communicate is going to be different than the way someone else communicates. And it's hard to figure out how do we meet all those. So I get it that we may have been out in person 30 times with the last referendum, but if we only saw 5 people, then it does feel like we're missing
Yeah.
the opportunities,
I
but we need to know then what are the better.
That was the most we've ever had.
Yeah.
But before that,
Maybe that's what we
it
need
was
to do.
me and the board sitting in the back row.
I know.
That is not the way to sell a referendum.
No.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say.
Yeah,
And these were great and they were good. We had
They
good
were good.
information.
yes,
We had good turnout. We had some really good dialogue.
Yes,
That was good. They
Yes.
were good.
They were
But they
good.
haven't been like that in the
right.
past.
But times might be changing.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's good. And
Yeah.
if we can have more of those, that'd be great. But I just feel like it should be the whole board
Mhm.
with
Mhm.
us, too.
yep,
But I also feel like the board has to take ownership in this somewhat too.
yep. And that's why I'm saying we are going to have to help create some of this content if we do not utilize a group that is going to help at least be the starting point of creating the content. We may have to take time out of our day to sit down and write up a flyer and create a mailer and help out with that because we are going to be task saturated at the beginning of school here with our administrative staff. And then we can put all the calls out to all the staff and the sports teams and the parents and anyone that wants to present that information at whatever event that they have. But we're going to be able to then hand out the information so that they have the answers to the questions that they might be asked. Let's do it.
I think maybe, I know you don't have much time, maybe a steering committee, because thank you for your commitment, but you guys are so close to it.
Mhm.
And so I'm out here hearing from the old people why they're not voting. And the governor himself, when he was in town, said, oh, I heard Simon School's closing. People from Frederick, oh, I heard you're closing in 28. And so I think the question that needs to be asked of the no voters is, why are you voting no? That's what you have to combat, because the messages are beautiful. But if it's not answering their reason for voting no, then it's missing the point.
And
Because it looked great.
Yeah, and I think we walk a bit of a tightrope in that we can't ask yes or no on that political end of thing. A citizen group can be out there and they can ask that yes or no part. We are only going to be able to present the facts and give that information side of things. We have to be pretty careful, I believe, on that yes, no piece for how we are asking questions to people.
So I think that was gonna be part of the discussion of the next meeting.
It is, yes, if we,
As a district, we can't advocate for a yes group. And we were just gonna have the discussion, but it couldn't even be on the agenda.
yeah, so if that group wants to bloom and come forth, we are all for supporting that group and getting them the information, but we can't be the ones that create it or ask for its creation. But we will definitely support citizens that are out there
So if people
supporting
want to
us.
volunteer, what should they do?
If people want to volunteer, we are probably going to have whatever publications that we are going to have available. And then I mean, I'll take it on and just say, contact me as the board president, and I will make sure that you get the copy that you need for the event that you are going to be at. And I can set up, that schedule with people, and we'll work with the administration on the actual events that we're going to present and create a calendar. But if there's someone that has something coming up soon, we'll figure out a way to have some information about the referendum at that event until we have a more firm copy put together, flyer, commonly asked questions.
I had this summer at the church garage sale, at Vacation Bible School, and at Fellowship After Church, I've had people specifically say, what can we do to help?
Mhm.
But there has to be a lead person we can refer them to. Once we can refer them to somebody, I'd be happy to stand up at the end of church during announcements and say, hey, some of you have talked to me about this. This is a person that you could contact to get more information or to see how you could help. And they're,
Yep.
like Karen said, those are senior citizens. A lot of them are senior citizens. A lot of them are Siren graduates from the 60s, 50s
Yeah.
and 60s. There are people that are committed to this district
Mhm.
that I believe are willing to help.
I do as well. And
We need to tap them
Yep.
or? do we
Yeah.
need to-
I am.
In the next half of like the next part of this meeting would be a good.
The next part of this meeting, the town hall, we'll talk more about some of that as well, but if people are passionate about the referendum specifically, please come to me at this point, send me an email. I might not have the answer of what we can give you right away, but I'm gonna hope by the end of next week, we are on to something, whether we decide on Monday that we're gonna use the consulting group or not. By the end of the week, then we should start having some information that we can get started. Because we have to get the ball rolling. It's definitely a countdown, but I will take the lead on that to begin with. And we'll see. I might keep it for the whole time. And if another person so arises that is able to help structure out some of those things.
Let's
yeah.
get started though. You're gonna
Yeah.
be the point
Yep.
on that. We just have to be careful. That's why I'm so leery. It's like, sometimes you have to be careful what your involvement is as the district, because you,
Right.
like,
Right.
that's, I mean, I think
yeah.
to start with you.
Because it's not
and
our job to
It's our.
tell people how to vote.
It's not, but I definitely can be the one if someone's like, I'm having an event and I would like to have 25 flyers to hand out in a poster board. I can be the one to help
Sure.
coordinate those things. So that is just fine. We just have to get those flyers
We
and
need
poster
somebody to
boards.
Start it and people to
Yes,
collaborate.
correct. So please send me an email at the school email. It's on the website for those that are out there.
Did Webster, when they presented their referendum, did they hire someone to help them or not?
I do not know if they hired a group or not.
I don't think they did either, and
No,
they
we
had
were-
some
We were
really
at the
nice
same
stuff
town
too.
meetings. Theirs passed, ours didn't.
Mhm.
We did the same meetings. We run into each other at
Mhm.
times and that, and we did the same thing. They had a pamphlet. I don't know if they used anybody to make their brochure, but they did not have a firm like guiding them process.
They brought that.
And we never have either, ever.
Correct. We haven't. This was just a thought for this year.
I think Grantsburg did a lot of like door to door, like when they got theirs a few years ago.
Sure.
So kind of the same, like a committee type, public committee.
Okay. All right, well, that gives us, a little bit of a week to think about this and think about the ways, if you feel so moved over the weekend to put together what a flyer might look like or something, throw a sample together and we'll.
We had a template
Yep.
we were just using.
Yes, and if anyone wants to, at a minimum, send an idea of an event that maybe you can't be there in person, but you would like us to be potentially at. Let's get a list going of what are the events that are happening this fall between now and the next 80
And
days.
something to keep in mind is that an operating referendum is just that. When I got on the board and I heard what busing costs, $51,000 a month,
Mhm.
I almost died.
I didn't
I was
know
like, what? Because I didn't have any clue that that's how much it costs.
Yeah.
When I saw a lawn care bill, I was like, we pay what? I have no idea what agencies and organizations and businesses pay for those. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to tell people, costs go up,
Costs continue
everything
to go
goes
up.
up.
Revenue doesn't.
You know,
go up.
and the districts have been so quick to say it's about salaries. It's about what,
Mhm.
this much of our budget is going to salaries, but they're not saying this is what we pay per month in an electric bill. This is what we pay in a month for internet. This is what we pay for our telephone system.
Maybe
I mean,
include that
those
in-
are
Yeah.
huge amounts of
So-
money. I had no idea.
Yeah, August is budget month. We're gonna be looking at all the budget stuff right into August for their,
Well, I
no,
mean,
it's,
we.
you're starting
Yes,
it. Yeah,
that's
far,
right.
not, sorry, October is
the annual-
October is our annual meeting, and that's when we look at
That's
that.
when we'll have an actual pupil count, and
Yeah.
that's why we.
But maybe we can put together a more generalized overview budget that's easier to read. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, but we could make it easier to read for the public. You know, by October, we have kind of a generalized one for
Yeah,
us
'cause
as
we have
well.
to, we have to adopt the budget, in October.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
I was getting my
Maybe
months
if we
off.
Get you, a preliminary budget. For your September.
And even with salaries, though, you're talking salaries, like Siren School District does not pay top salaries in this
No.
area either. That's the other thing.
I think we could probably
No.
put our pay scale out there to just
No,
show
but I'm
year
just
1
saying,
through 30, what
Pretty
people are
modest. Our
making. Yeah,
district spends a lot of money on salaries. It is 80% of our budget, but it's not. It doesn't go up every year. They get a step, but it doesn't go up and get an increase like other districts do around us every year.
Yeah.
Like they may get 3% on top of the scale and different things like that. I don't want to speak for the district, but we are not one of the higher paid
No, we're not. We-
school districts.
And that's one of the things with all the people leaving. And they're like, wow, we got a substantial increase.
Everyone has a
and-
problem.
They'll say our insurance costs are more,
that's right.
but what we got paid in our salary more than covers what the increase in that benefit is. So, I mean, there's so many different ways to look at that, but we are not a really great paid district. It's much better than it was, but it's far from top.
Mhm.
In fact, I'd say we're
I
pretty
know,
low
I know.
compared to
And it
others.
was top
But-
level at the starting wage.
Yeah.
Until we paid.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Like $33,000 was the starting wage. That's
Yeah.
pretty low.
that is low.
Well,
And
I.
luckily we've
retired
raised
5
that.
years ago
Yeah.
and I never made $50,000
Up
in my
until,
salary.
yeah, whenever we made that
33 years
change.
working here, I never made $50,000 a year.
All right.
So I absolutely understand where the salary thing is, but that's all people hear. And then they think, oh, these teachers are paid so much because 80% of the budget is salaries. Well, but we need people to run the classes and the businesses, but the overhead costs are also
Yeah.
very substantial. When you're talking more than $500,000 for busing.
Whether we
That's
have
huge.
10 students or 10,000 students.
Exactly.
Yeah, some of those costs are, I mean, those are drastic difference, but 300 to 400 students, it doesn't matter. We're still gonna put some of those. So,
Right.
all right, well, we'll think this over the weekend. We'll make a decision on what we're doing to help get that information going next week. I'm gonna look for a motion to
Make a motion to
adjourn.
A
this meeting.
second.
All right, so we've got one by Kelly, seconded by Kimberly. All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed. All right, so this meeting will be adjourned and then we will get ready for our next,
You wanna
at
remain-
5:30.
You wanna do-
Okay.
we'll see what we get for folks.